Hello everyone, I'm back today with a different video to usual, and this video is going to be a video on repairing a garden solar light. Now I've repaired many of these over the years, and I have these three currently to look at tonight. Now this one I've already looked at and it appears to be day burning. This one I damaged myself, accidentally pulled the solar panel off. But this is the one that I'm mainly going to have to look at because it just isn't working at all. So normally what I would do with these is I'd put a brand new battery in. So I'll put that there, because that's likely to be dead. And pick a new one up, and same type battery but a new charged one. Unfortunately, we don't have anything coming from this light. It's possible that that contact there could be causing some issues, maybe some contact issues. So what we'll do is we'll give that a little scrape and see if it helps. So I've just gave the contact a little bit of a clean now. And let's try the fully charged new battery again. Unfortunately, still nothing. So the next thing I'm going to try with this light is going to be the switch. So let's get this open. This light is a older light to some of my other ones. I believe this one dates to something like 2008. Nope, 2013. There's a little date code there on the label saying 1013, which will be October 2013. Oh, I need to super glue it. So let's open it up and let's have a look. So the next thing I'm going to go for is that switch. These are notorious for failing. Just going to try and get a bit more. It won't open those. Oh, that green wire's not long enough. So we'll try and get this switch to there. Have I just broke a wire? I don't think I have. Come on. So the next thing I'm going to do is solder this switch out, but I'm going to take the battery out to do this, because sometimes if it's left live whilst you solder them, it somehow stops them from working even further. So let's see what I can do here. I've only got one hand because I'm holding my phone with the other. So let's bypass this switch and see if it does anything. It's currently in the on position. As you can see, the light isn't working. Still. We'll have oh, it flashed there, so we'll have a little fiddle with the switch. Oh, God. We'll have a little fiddle with the switch here now. I'm definitely putting it down to the switch being faulty. So we'll get that bypassed. They're not really needed anyway. They're only needed when you get the lights new, to switch them on from being off. So let's see if we can get this working. If it's not the switch, the next thing I'll go for will be the LED. I'll swap the LED for a new one. So unfortunately I was unable to solder the light whilst I was videoing because I was holding the phone in one hand and trying to solder in the other. So what I've done is there was a wire going from the positive battery contact to the switch and from the switch to the PCB. So what I've done is took the wire from the switch that goes to the PCB and just put it straight onto the positive of the battery contact, completely bypassing the switch altogether. Let's see if I've fixed this light. I have. So the light is now working. So we'll get my super glue out and get this glued up. So the most common issue with these lights can be mostly the batteries. The batteries they come supplied with usually aren't really the best. They're usually unbranded batteries, cheap crap batteries with poor milliamp an hour rating. Some of them I've seen are just poor at 100 mAh, 150 mAh, 200, 300, 400, 500. Anything below 600 I usually will rip out of any brand new lights that I buy and just chuck a brand new battery in at 1200. I found these JCB ones from Home Bargains to be quite good batteries. I've been using these for 2 years now and I haven't lost any of them yet. None of them seem to have gone weak. I always date the batteries when I put them in. You know, that one's one of the ones from the other day. I always date them so I know how long they've lasted, and usually every 2 to 3 years I'll replace the batteries for a fresh one. And the light will be alright, but occasionally other faults can be the switches, like we've just seen there. Sometimes they fail. The connections in them just don't connect up anymore and the light just stays off. So sometimes a perfectly good light could be chucked away because the switch has failed, you know. I prefer to repair my lights rather than just chuck them away, especially since I know what I'm doing with these. So what we'll do is we'll move on to the next one, which I need to repair, which is of the same type of light. Mount this one the other way so it doesn't waste the battery. So this is my next one, which I want to repair. I actually had a look at this one this morning. This is actually the same batch of light as the other one. It's the same one. Yeah, both made in October 13. So yes, anyway, back to this one. So I managed to get this one working this morning. I mainly bought this one home because I'd broke it. I super glued it and got it working. It needed a new LED, so when I put the new LED in, I spotted that it was day burning. Now, I'm not quite sure what's happened with this light, because it was working before I brought it home to glue it together. I need to put them screws in the other one. I think what I might do with this one is possibly put a new PCB in. It's not the best there. Another one where I've bypassed the switch on. So I think I'll whack a new PCB in this one. But we'll check all the solder joints first, make sure none of them are loose. The light overall looks fine. There's the positive going to the solar panel, and there's the negative going to the solar panel. The negatives are usually together on the board, whilst the positives are usually separate. So we'll have a little look at this. I'll have a little look at this one later when I've done the video, because it's going to take a while. Actually, no. I think I'll have a look at it now. I'll have a look at it now. So I'm just gonna have a quick look at this, and I'll be back in a sec. So I found a guts which looks largely okay. There's a bit of corrosion on it, but I don't see any reason why this guts won't work. I'll likely swap that LED because they usually are faulty. So I'll whip that guts in this, and I'll be back. So I've got the guts mostly in. So what I'll do is I'm actually going to test the guts first to see if it's working. If it's not working, then there's no point in me soldering the rest in. It is working. Wonderful. So what I'll do now is I'll solder the positive to the solar panel in. Then we'll see if it works. So unfortunately with this light, although I've soldered the brand new guts in, the light still appears to be day burning and non-operational. Oh, no. Oh, what happened there? What on earth? Interesting, that's strange. Wonder what happened there. I wonder if it's just a faulty connection. It doesn't seem to be. Battery contact seems alright. So, not quite sure what happened there because the light went out and then came back on when I put it up to the light, but it hasn't done it again. Let's try that again. No, so it is day burning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the live and neutral around on the solar panel on the board. So I'll swap the polarity around. Unfortunately, the light is still day burning, so unfortunately not a lot more I can do with this light because the solar panel is fixed in. So this will be one which I'll strip down and I'll use to repair others. It's a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Now, a gripe of mine with some of these lights, especially the later ones which you can get these days, is some of the batteries they come supplied with. So like these 18650 batteries, for instance, when they need replacing, they are very expensive to replace. Now online, these batteries can be anything between £5 and £10 per battery because they are an odd size lithium ion battery, usually between 3.2 volts and 3.7 volts. They're a pain. They usually come in these posh boxes, like that box there, like this one did, which now holds my LEDs. So generally I generally try to keep away from solar lights that use these style batteries. I also generally keep away from solar lights that use these pin in the backside style batteries. So anything like these, so 2/3 the size of a standard normal AA and AAA. As you can see, there's quite a size difference there. Now, as I've just said, any lights that use any of these sort of batteries, including these little button things which are just useless, I generally stay away from unless there's space inside of them to solder either a AAA across or a AA. If I can do that with them, then I'll buy them, and then when the 2/3 size battery or one of these dies, I'll solder one of them in. Another thing I do with my lights as well when I get them is I always put clear silicone around the solar panel because they always leak in. You put them outside, the water leaks in through under the solar panel and in through the holes there. So them holes you see up there. So make sure you put silicone around the panel so the water will just drain off. I'm actually going to have to, I've just punctured that, I'm actually going to have to do that as well. And then maybe inside of there like I have as well. And that should keep the inside of the lights dry. I guess that's about it, I guess. Also in the winter, once the nights get below 5 and 4 degrees, take your solar lights in. If you can't keep them active over the winter, like say in a greenhouse or something, take your batteries out, fully charge them, put them away, put the lights away, and don't put them out at least before the nights are back to being 5 degrees and above, because the winter will just kill your lights. So I hope you enjoyed this one. A little video on how to repair some lights. Sometimes it can just be a battery, a switch, an LED, or even more like the circuit board, or even like, the one I've just done, this one, where the light's just scrapped because the solar panels failed. That one was working before I bought it home and glued it, so I'm not quite sure why the solar panels failed. It could be that, I might even just try and rewire it, to be honest. I've got plenty of wire, so I might give it a rewire and see if I can get it going. If not, then I definitely know it's kaput. So that's about it for now. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you need any advice on your solar lights, I should be happy to help. See you soon. Thanks for watching.